Hi everyone, this is Ali from EbikeBC. I have been frequently questioned about the difference between our geared hub motor system versus mid-drive motors such as Bosch, Shimano or Yamaha, which are very famous brands, and they are being applied or employed by many electric bike manufacturers. Here we have a Bosch motor system on a Norco VLT model. It's a 2017, I believe, model. It's a very neat and good quality electric bike, pedal assist electric bike. This Bosch motor system is a German design, German quality kind of thing that you can rely on, that is usually employed in high quality electric bicycles. If I'm going to compare this by a motor system with a geared hub motor or in general rear hub motor systems, I would say that this motor needs a proprietary frame being designed to hold the motor. It's not a add-on or aftermarket retrofittable kind of motor. It needs a frame that has the mounting places for that, and that limits the flexibility of frame designer. So you don't see many alternatives, you don't see many different ergonomical fits on electric bikes on using this type of mid-drive motor. The other thing that I can just discuss with my customer is that once you use a mid-drive motor, you have the advantage of having the weight of the motor attached to the frame, letting the wheels lightweighted. It's good for rock jumping, it's good for mountain biking. But for urban cyclists, for city use, for commuters, that's not a big deal. You really don't feel much difference between having the weight of the motor attached to the frame or the wheel. But on the other hand, once you transmit the power through the transmission, through the existing bicycle transmission, you are doubling the risk of transmission failure. And in case a failure happens in transmission, although we know that Bosch motor system is a good, reliable motor system, that the transmission is a regular bicycle transmission. Once it fails, you fail. You may be stuck in the middle of nowhere, not even being able to pedal back home. So the other point on this type of motor is that the motor itself is very complex. There are lots of moving parts inside, and if the motor fails, it's not considered an easy fix. The other advantage of these mid-drive motors, which Bosch is one of the most famous ones, is that they can use the mechanical advantage of the transmission, the bicycle transmission. So once you use the gear shift, you can change the amount of torque being delivered to the wheel. So if you want to climb steep hill, even with a low power mid-drive motor, you can have a high torque climbing the hills with higher thrust. And vice versa. If you want to go faster, just like car transmission, you can just upshift and have the motor run on a higher speed. But we all know that the 32 km per hour is the maximum speed, street legal speed in Canada. Now let's talk about our geared hub motor, one which is installed on our Envo D35 complete electric bike. This geared hub motor has the advantage of very lightweight and very high torque configuration. The reason being lightweighted and high torque is that these motors are geared. They have a sun-planetary, I can show you here, reduction gears with nylon gears and steel ring gear that magnifies the output torque by a factor of about 6, which makes it have a higher power density and higher torque density in a same motor housing. So if you compare this motor with a direct drive motor, this can be 50% lighter and 50% torqueier. That is the advantage of the geared hub technology. And the other advantage of this motor would be, just like the mid-drive, it gives you an absolute freewheeling ride if you want to use it as a regular bicycle. It doesn't drag you down unlike direct drive motors, which has a cogging magnetic friction. So if you compare the two models, we have one big highlight. This motor has less moving parts inside, very simple construction, and as you see, it directly drives the wheel. It doesn't have any involvement with the transmission, so transmission failure is not a subject, and it's quite reliable. Even if we have a failure, even if you have a motor which has failed, we still have a regular bicycle to pedal back home, unlike the mid-drive motor systems. The other highlight of this type of motor is that it gives us access to design versatile ergonomic frames. We have a very neat ergonomical frame which is manufactured by hydroformed technology. The motor doesn't affect frame design, so we can have a very good, nice, good looking and ergonomical frame which can employ this type of motor. If we compare the two motor power, traction or torque, I would say if you use this motor on a low speed gear which gives the maximum torque at the wheel, you will have an identical maximum torque. So the climbability of the two motor system will be about the same. If you're talking about same power motors like 500 to 500 or 350 to 350. At some points I can say that the 350 watt is giving even a higher torque than a 500 watt Bosch motors, depending on the gear ratios that they are using. Now let's talk about the comparison of the other components of these two bikes. Now we're here we have the Norco VLT with a Bosch motor battery system, and the other hand we have the Envo D35 with a geared hub motor by EbikeBC. So we have a battery here. Both batteries are using Samsung cells. I just want to compare apple to apple. Quite similar geometry, similar weight. I mean, they're both lightweighted, less than 3 kilograms, maybe 2.6, and they are all using 36 volts, 11-ish ampere hour, which will be about 400 watt hour of power density. So same cells, same electronics, and they all have same feature: lockable, secure thing, indicators, charge indicators. We have the USB outlet to recharge smartphone on this battery, on the Envo battery, and the USB outlet is on this Bosch system is here embedded on the display. So both have a computer display that you have access to do some settings like assigning a level of assist. Here we have 4 levels on Bosch motor system: off, eco, tour, sports and turbo, which affects the pedaling or pedal assist power. And here we have assist levels from 0 to 5 and lots of more features. On this Envo we have a power on demand throttle, which gives you access to ride the bicycle in case you don't want to or you can't pedal. So it's another feature that you can use. We don't have such a thing on Bosch. Maybe that's because of the safety concerns, or maybe standards of different, maybe European standard or something, that they have some limitation to do to put this on their typical bicycles. But here in Canada we are okay to have that kind of features on the bicycles. So we're comparing a $4,000-ish electric bicycles powered by Bosch with a less than 2,500 Envo D35. You will know better if you try that this has a very, very big value for money. Thank you for watching.